into the DNVR Avalanche podcast. We got the whole crew here as the Avs lose 5-2 to the Boston Bruins. I want to open with this. I don't think you should be that upset that the Avs lost to the Boston Bruins. It's a good hockey team. You're not going to win every single game.
That's possession, apparently.
We'll talk about that. We'll break down the whole game, and I think it's fair that if you didn't love how the bread got made, in certainly portions of this hockey game, let's do it. Let's do the 60-second rundown. Avs started this game terribly. Anytime your goaltender has a 0 save percentage is never good. They gave up a goal on the first goal of the game. They would go on to give up 2 more in the first period. The Avs do get one of those back when it gets to 2-0 to make it 2-1. Miles Wood continues to be a blessing back in this lineup. And then Boston's third goal in the first period is controversial, to say the least, about whether Pavel Zacha was onside or not. 3-1, the Avs really did not play a good period as a whole. The second period, the Avs play great, but they're not able to convert enough of their opportunities. They only get 1 goal. MacKinnon bangs one home that sneaks in behind Swayman to make it 3-2. And then, honestly, in the third period, I give a full credit to Boston. They just absolutely locked the Avalanche down. It's what playing with the lead is supposed to look like, and the Avs just weren't able to get anything done. It ultimately ends up 5-2 because of a late power play goal and a empty netter, but Boston controlled it. All right. We made it in the 60 seconds. I feel pretty good about that. A lot of games I haven't been keeping it in the timer because of the million goals a game. But
Yeah, 9 goals a game is a lot to work through in 60 seconds.
let's go back. Start this game off. Is this hey, the Avs just didn't show up on time to this game? Is this a symptom of a deeper problem? Because we've seen the Avs, let's face it, give up certainly the first goal, if not more than that, far too often this season for what you would like. I don't want to point fingers, but how do you fix it?
Get a save.
A fair statement.
What'd you say? Make a save?
Yep.
I agree, and I'll jump in because we're talking about this way too often. Because it's the reality. It's the truth. I mean, I'm not being negative about it. Is at some point in a hockey game, you're gonna give up chances. It's the National Hockey League. It's the best league in the world. You're gonna give up chances. Too many times, 3-4 go in and 15 shots or whatever it is in a span of a period. 5 scoring chances against. I don't blame goalies, but right now it's a fact. It is a fact. The numbers are there to prove it. The eye test is there to prove it. The examples are there to prove it. Like, everything's there. The proof's in the pudding, right? You know, they always say that. Like, he hasn't been good enough. And tonight, you can't say like he was great. Like, he was below average. Plain and simple. He wasn't good. He wasn't terrible. He's below average. And the guy on the other side beat him. That's it. We talked about it before the game. Who's going to have the higher save percentage going to win the game?
It's the first goal for me, really.
But that's my point. It's just he doesn't make saves when he has to make saves. And it's not like he's under siege and he's in the shower right now and he's like, oh, my God, like, I got shelled with 50 shots and 30 high danger chances. Like, it's never like that. Like, you got to make saves. You're paid to make saves. Yes, there's every goal will go through them. Like, guys miss their assignments. I get that. We're talking purely on your job as the goaltender to make saves. If it was that easy, then my Lord, like, the high school goalie down the street could play. Like,
I don't know about that.
No, but I'm just saying, if it's that simple, you're gonna give up chances. You're gonna get shots against. Mistakes are going to be made. That is not, like, whether you're playing a good game or a bad game, mistakes are going to happen. So for me, you fall down like that. Now it's just as the Boston Bruins, and you can't come up in the third like the Ottawa Senators because this is a good team and they lock it down and you just run out of time. Not even time because it was not even close, but you run out of space to do what you've been doing against, sometimes bad teams. If I'm taking the last game, Ottawa, which is a bad team.
I'm usually inclined to find reasons to be defensive of the goaltender, but the reason I struggle to, especially in this game inside the first period, is how the Avs respond as a team to 2 goals against in under 5 minutes. First goal, 44 seconds in.
Yep.
3 goals on 11 shots. That's obviously very pointed at the goaltender. But how the Avs respond is by creating opportunities that are competitive with Boston's. Dangerous opportunities that challenge Swayman on the opposite side. Miles Wood comes up with a goal, so they don't necessarily tie it inside the period. That would be difficult to do because 2 goals happened in under 5 minutes.
Yep.
But what I see is the Avs group in front of him not being mentally dissuaded from how that game started.
Sure.
And continuing to fight against it well into the second period, which was their most dominant period. And that's where it's hard then, because you're looking at the team in front of Georgiev then and seeing that they did everything they could. Obviously, it's not perfect and mistakes get made, but that happens in any hockey game, and it happened on Boston's side of it tonight too.
And Swayman stopped them.
And Swayman stopped them. And Swayman wasn't perfect either, but
Sure.
he had the goal support he needed from the team in front of him, and that's what I think the Avs tried to provide.
Yeah.
It wasn't perfect, but the creation was there, the intent was there. That's why I think I was defensive of Annunen in the Ottawa game, is because the Avs clearly didn't have their legs under them in the second game
He
of the
had to make
back-to-back.
36 saves.
And that's why I'm like, okay, so some of these goals are going in. This is looking a little tough, but I'm also evaluating the team in front of him. And that's where I look at tonight, especially inside the first period. And the Avs team responded to it pretty well, all things considered. Again, it's imperfect on both sides, but
Of course.
that's where it falls then heavily on Georgiev's shoulders and makes it then the team is sort of, they're fighting in spite of their goaltending at that point.
I agree.
And that makes it really hard because they're already also fighting Boston and their own goaltending added on top
Fought
of
the
it.
refs a little bit. Linesman, I
And,
guess, tonight.
Yeah, that was also a challenge.
Which we'll get to that, I
An
promise. but-
unsuccessful one.
That's
Zing!
good. That's
Like you said, it's not perfect. The second goal against, Sam Malinsky gets caught sleeping. There's no doubt about that.
I didn't like it, and I didn't
He
like
was-
Jack Johnson's involvement
Yep.
on it.
Yep. And he was just completely blew coverage on the 4th goal. So,
All that is bad. All that is normal.
yep.
You live with the Sam Malinsky mistakes in your lineup because
What
that's
he
your
does in
only
the other
option.
zone.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like Cale Makar turns the puck over to Pasternak right there on the first goal, like
Yep.
right in the middle of the ice. It's not unreasonable to say, I need my goaltender to make that save.
It's not like Pasta's there loaded for a bomb. He twirls and just throws a puck towards the net.
It's not an incredible shot.
Yeah.
It's just just because Pasternak is the one who shoots it doesn't make it magically, the
No, I know.
perfect shot. It's not. And it's one that you look back on and you're like, sure, would have been nice to have a save there.
First shot of the game.
The second one, I'm not gonna look at Georgiev at all on it. I'm just gonna be like, that guy's completely wide open on behind where Georgiev is, and your defense doesn't do anything. Like, Georgiev can't make that save. No goaltender on earth can make that save.
Right.
Swayman and Olmark at the same time couldn't have made that save because it's the back door. Like, you don't play for that, so that's fine. But there are other goals that get scored, and it's like you just need
More. You just need more.
You just need a save. It's not even like you need tons of them here.
Yep.
You need a save.
And
Should have gotten bailed out by the blue line. Did not.
yeah.
But even that goal, that's not a special goal.
Not in this situation of the game. Like it's 2-1. You can't give up that third one.
And it's
You can't in the first period. You can't.
you just can't.
At some point, you got to make saves. That's
For-
what I was saying.
The Avs have gotten away with playing from behind a lot this year. A lot of comeback. It's 15 comeback wins now.
Yes.
We've talked a lot. We've given them a lot of credit. It's great that they've shown the ability to do this with some consistency, but you can't do it forever. You can't play every game from behind and expect to win every single night. It's just not reality.
And the 2 goals, you might be able to get away with that occasionally against a decent team. You know that you can get away with it against bad teams because you've done it to
A whole bunch
Ottawa
of them.
twice.
Yeah.
You've done it to Calgary. You've done it to some teams.
Dallas. Yup, 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 yup.
Got him. But this is a great defensive team with elite goaltending.
Yep.
They are not going to give you enough for you to be like, oh, a 3-1 lead? Like, a 3-1, it's
We'll just lock this down.
3 on 11 shots. Like, you don't even give your stuff, you don't even get a chance in that
Yep.
game.
Yep.
You can't look at all 3 goals and be like, yeah, but the difference. Every single one of them? Are you serious? Georgiev makes some great saves tonight on other bad defensive breakdowns. It is the NHL.
Yep.
Gotta make
The
saves.
other team has NHL players who are awfully good at generating offense. A team like Boston's pretty good at it. It's just unacceptable, man. He has to be better. If you're never going to criticize the goaltender, I just don't.
Like Megan,
I don't get it, dude. Your defense just can't.
Like Megan said, look directly across the ice, and you watch Swayman play a better game than Georgiev tonight.
Allowed more rebounds and faced comparable dangerous chances, but the difference was the saves.
That's it.
If your option is get scored on or give up a rebound,
Right.
I'll give up a rebound
Right,
every
because
single
Swayman
time.
wasn't perfect tonight.
Yeah, no, definitely
But he
not.
made the saves.
Didn't look great. I mean, the
he
second
looked
goal
better
is
than the
because
other
he has
guy.
no idea where the puck is.
Yep.
He got away with one earlier in the second period where the puck, he gives up a rebound. He's still standing there. It's behind him. But it's in the corner. They get the goal because that puck is behind him.
Yep.
And MacKinnon just skates up and goes, oh, shit.
Yeah.
Nice.
That's pretty cool.
But guess what? And I agree with that. But he was better than our guy.
Yeah.
That's it. End of story.
Yep.
It was on the keys before
Gotta
the
have a
game.
save, man.
I mean, it just blows my mind. Like he has
Sucks.
not been good.
All right.
And you can't be afraid of words. He hasn't been good. He's been below average.
And it looks like he gives up goals and immediately is like,
Here we go again.
here I go.
Yeah.
This is going to suck.
I think there's a problem there. I really do. I'm not. I've been saying, I've been defensive and, backing him up. Right now, I'm at game, 46?
Yep.
I'm saying it. Like, there's a problem.
Yeah,
There's a problem.
I think the slash of Sam Malinsky at the time was like, what was that? And now you look at it and you're like, that's a clear crack in the facade.
You've watched it spiral from
Yeah,
there.
of like, this is a guy who is not handling the mental side of the game well at all.
I'm
He's
part-
not handling it. He's not handling it in games. And he comes out in the second period and the Avs give up one high danger chance. He makes 8 saves. Like, his job gets infinitely easier in the second period. Great. He does that job.
Hey, here's what I'm going to
Great.
say. Like, I'm the biggest
Cool.
goalie defender. You guys know that, right? I'm being honest. I'm part of the goalie union, But you have to call a spade right now. If this was Mikko Rantanen, right, we'd be like, hey, it's not good enough for Mikko, right? You know what I mean? The level of play I'm talking about. And we've been very critical of Mikko Rantanen. We have been.
He went, 11 games or something without scoring a goal
remember,
earlier
like,
this year?
this
And
is
every
we were
day
like,
we were all
we're
over
like,
him.
so right now, this is the same thing on the same level. I'm not comparing to Mikko Rantanen, like making $10 million a year. That's not what I'm saying. But he has a job to do, and his job is to make saves when mistakes are made by players, because mistakes happen. But right now, he's not making enough saves to say that he's doing his job. So for me, he's not doing his job. And it's been multiple games. It's been, okay, great, he's tired. I don't want to hear he's tired. Great, awesome. If he's tired, then let's get somebody else in there.
Let's get final thoughts on Georgiev here because I do want to move on. We've talked about this 100 times now.
Agree.
Anything else to add?
It's the same conversation
Yeah.
every game,
It's the same
dude.
thing.
Yep.
Move on.
All right. I do want to talk about something positive before we get into this other conversation. Miles Wood comes back 2 games, goal in each game. A guy who has immediately given the Avs a forward depth boost. He's not going to score 82 goals. He's not going to score every game, obviously. But is this a step in the right direction for a team that is depleted forward core? We know Miles Wood is going to be better than Caleb Jones, but
Whoa.
Ouch.
Whoa.
should this give people confidence that when the Avs do get Lehkonen back, when they do get healthier, that the Avs will be competitive 1 through 12 on offense?
Awfully close to it anyway, yeah. I mean, if at some point you get Val Nichushkin back, the way that guy was playing, he was driving a line for you.
Yep.
And that's part of why, I mean, that's why from a hockey perspective, his absence kills you.
Yep.
Because he was your second line. You were getting away with it. You were doing just fine, and that's with no Artturi Lehkonen. You know, that's you get Artturi Lehkonen back. You can still see the pieces here of nothing has changed. You get a Val Nichushkin back. You get Artturi Lehkonen back. These guys are in your top 6. You get a center to play between them. They roll out Miles Wood, Ross Colton, Logan O'Connor again. I haven't looked at the numbers for that line.
They crushed tonight.
But anecdotally, it sure felt good again.
Yep.
That should be... I kind of feel bad. Nikolai Kovalenko's like lost his job because Logan O'Connor's just taking it.
Yeah.
Like Nikolai Kovalenko's kind of been penciled in that spot by me anyway.
Same.
In just as a true
Slot
right
him
wing.
in. Slot him in, please. Put him on the board. Slot him in.
The player that Logan O'Connor is this year is a lot more like a 35-point player instead of a 25-point
Exactly.
player.
And that's, you put him, you've had great chemistry. It's a great two-way game with Wood, LOC, and Colton in the middle. That's a true third line. And we saw that third line go up against a pretty good Bruins team tonight. And
kick ass.
I would like to look at the numbers. I haven't done that yet.
Certainly
but
from the eye test, kick ass.
yeah, it felt good. It felt like that line was actually getting some stuff done. And you know that they're... You put a true second line in front of them, and you're like, oh, this is a problem. And then you actually have Cogliano and Olofsson, and then I guess at this point Kovalenko on that fourth line. You actually feel like, yeah, this is a forward core that you really feel much better about. It was always going to be an uphill battle with this lineup going into Boston. It was all that was just going to be the case. It was, unless your top guys are doing something special. They're going to struggle to score. They're going to struggle to win. They're not built to win. This version of them is not going to win like that.
Yep.
They have limitations. And that's where, in looking at this game, I'm not worried about the locker room culture. I still think that it's headed in the right direction and has been. I think that seeing the effort from even this depleted group affirms how I feel about the Avs moving forward. And in the immediate, the loss of Nichushkin adds to the current forward debt. And so even getting Artturi Lehkonen back is a huge piece. He brings a lot of energy, and he's a puck hound, and that's going to be very useful because you look at the energy that was infused in the team just from Miles Wood. You get a little bit of that in Lehkonen too. So it's all good. And it gets better once you look outside the immediate future, closer to Val Nichushkin eventually returning and hopefully a Kovalenko coming too. I'm sure that Logan O'Connor will take him under his wing and show him a lot of things. And so you do feel a lot better about where the Avs group is headed. I'm not personally too hung up on the result tonight.
Same.
But it stinks.
But I'm going to jump in there, and I agree with all that. But on a game like that, maybe it's the emotions, and that's why you don't act on emotions in management, whatever. But I look at this and I go, gosh, I want another forward. Even with what we're talking about. And I'm not going to say who. I'm being honest.
Go watch the watch along, and we're shouting about a couple of guys tonight.
No, that's
Put
what I'm
it that
saying.
way.
I mean, that's for me. It's
94.
you need that one more guy. You know what I mean? And again, that's wishful thinking. And a lot of teams are saying, "Oh God, I wish I had MacKinnon and Rant." I agree. I'm not doing the Sheldon Keefe here. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying just one more, because you're always going to be dealing with one or two injuries. That's just reality of the beast, right?
Totally.
I mean, that's just life.
You're feeling good if it's one or two.
That's right. That's what I'm saying. Again, we went like that yesterday, right? So we'll do it again. But you're always going to have one or two in the docket. But I just one more piece, one more guy. Just make me feel better. Maybe it's the emotions talking right now because I'm mad about the game. But
That line, by the way, that Colton Wood, LOC, 21-11 at 5v5.
So
21-11 in shot attempts. 11-7 shots on goal. Basically dead even in expected goals. 8-7 scoring chances. They did give up the high danger chance advantage 6-3.
Sure.
And they got outscored 2-0.
And
that's hockey.
we're not great. Like, obviously that line's limitation is going to be goal scoring ability.
That's
We
not a line
understand
that should be getting second line minutes, and they played 10:55 at 5v5 today as a trio.
But, okay, I'm going to jump in again. To your thought there, to keep those three together, you need what I'm saying. to get that one extra guy, or else it's freaking weak.
You have a
I'm
giant
just
hole at
being
2C in your lineup.
I
You
know. I
do
just didn't want
it.
to say the word. That's it.
You just do. It's the reality, and it's not going to get solved until trade deadline. So,
You know what? Even how we're talking about this, like, Ryan Johansson isn't in this picture in how we're talking
he's
about
just
it.
not. He's just not.
Like, we're talking about the potential third line and the potential fourth line, and he's just not in the future plan. And I look at a game like tonight where Jared Bednar talks about passengers, and I feel like that is what he's been, unfortunately, lately.
It's the same thing that we were talking about with Georgiev. It's game 46. It's been 25 games of a Ryan Johansson that you hardly notice.
There's no impact. There's no impact on the game. Zero.
5?
Is it more like 20? I don't know. Whatever.
I would have said closer to 35.
No, was I being generous?
I felt.
I gave him the first 15. Whatever. So that'd still be 30. But
Also, just because this is in front of me, the inequity of hockey sometimes.
yep.
Drew and McKinnon and Rantanen together, 14-25 at 5v5. Shots on goal are 7-7. They're outscored 1-0. That trio specifically is outscored 1-0. And they had an 11-4 scoring chance advantage and a 7-1 high danger chance advantage. That's just hockey.
And with Jonathan having a tough game.
And you're outscored 1-0. You need
A save?
a save.
That's it.
That's the difference.
God, I'm not.
On that note, get yourself over to DraftKings Sportsbook and absolutely hammer the over in every single Avalanche game.
Can't believe I haven't been.
Right? It's
I can't believe I said the under today. I said 2-1. What's wrong with me?
If there's a team playing the Colorado Avalanche in the year 2024, they're either going to score at least 4 goals or they're going to score 0. Those are your options. So go
Take the
over with
over.
DraftKings. Sign up with code DNVR with a new account with DraftKings. When you bet $5 on any NHL game, you can get $200 in bonus bets. So jump on the bonus bet train. Go bet on whatever you feel like with those. Win yourself some good old money with DraftKings Sportsbook. Of course, you can bet on every sport under the sun with DraftKings. It does not have to be hockey because the sport is dumb and really random. So totally understand if you want to bet on something else. But do it with DraftKings. Jump over there, an official sports betting partner of the NHL. Use that DNVR code when you sign up for a new account and get those $200 in bonus bets when you bet $5 on any NHL game. If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.1800gambler.net. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly on behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas. 21 plus, age varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. See dkng.com/hockey for eligibility and deposit restrictions, terms, and responsible gaming resources. NHL and NHL Shield are registered trademarks of the National Hockey League. Copyright NHL 2024. All rights reserved. Georgiev gave up 2 more goals in that time frame.
Jesus, that was unreal.
Yeah.
You want a
Also,
towel? I got a towel over there.
when you win some money gambling on DraftKings, do something smart with your money. Take some of it out, put it into College Invest. Go jump on that. Make sure you are prepared for the future. If you've got kids, you want someone you want to invest in their college. College Invest is the way to do it. Over at collegeinvest.org, you can jump in. They have a bunch of different amazing options. They'll give you tax breaks. They'll give you a whole lot of other opportunities when it comes to College Invest and the money that you put into it. So, again, get over there. Go check it out. College Invest is great. I had a College Invest account that made my life a lot easier when I went to college. So thanks, parents. I appreciate you. You just get over there. Savings can be used even for trade schools and apprenticeships. So even if it's not the traditional college route, it's still a great option. Again, collegeinvest.org to open your account today. Second period of the DNVR Avalanche podcast. Okay. So Pavel Zacha was offside, right?
Not.
Right?
Nope.
And okay, I get it. The reason he's ruled onside is because he's ruled to be in control and possession of the puck while entering the zone. You can make an argument that happens in the right time frame, but if you go back and watch the play, I do not understand how you can make an argument that he is in possession of this puck.
Yeah, the puck has touched his stick.
That's not possession.
Exactly. Are we
Didn't they
considering...
take Cale Makar's assist last game against Ottawa? Because they said
They did take an assist. They did not award Cale Makar. They didn't take it away. They just never gave it to him.
Sorry. Because they said it wasn't... Whatever,
because a puck hit off his body and then goes into the corner.
Yeah.
And he I don't remember if he touches it with his stick or not. And then a Sens player very briefly slaps at the puck, and then Devon shoots it down into the empty net. Yeah. And Cale Makar did not get an assist for that because they considered that to be control by the Sens player. So I guess at least it's consistent. That's considered control. And then this bullshit is considered control. Because if you watch it, in no way are you like, yeah, he has control of that puck.
Nope.
No, he makes contact with it.
Here, my problem with this rule is we have a track record here. We have the Cale Makar deemed onside because he's technically not touching the puck, so they're saying he's not really in control.
He's not in possession.
And we have one against the Chicago Blackhawks that happened against the Avalanche of the same thing.
Oh, jeez.
So we have multiple calls in history where they're saying that isn't possession. He's not in control. And tonight, it is control. And it's not like, even with the, he touched the puck, it immediately after goes in behind him, and he has to turn his whole body around and look and find out where the puck went.
That's not possession.
Like, come on, man.
Well, when it comes down to possession, it's interpretation. That's all that is. That's why there's a gray area. So for me, if I'm in charge, forget about what team I like or root for. That is not possession. And obviously, whoever made the decision in the room there ruled it possession. I just have a different view. I think we all have a different view.
Yeah.
That's what it comes down to. I mean,
I can throw the glove at RyJo again to remake this point.
I think you need to.
Like, I mean,
can I see it again?
I can't find a good video of it. Like, this is just the goal generally, but it's not close.
I tweeted out a clip of.
Okay. Let me go to RyJo's account. Because that's
it's like
not
that's outside.
It's not the good angle, but you can see what I'm talking about,
That's
where he
not
doesn't control the
possession.
puck at all.
Possession is when you go like this and you're dangling, and then you cross your feet over the blue, the puck's behind, and you have full control. That is not possession.
And if we're considering possession or control to be he is touching it.
Well, then why? What's the word? Then all you have to do is you say all you need to do is touch it. Not
Exactly,
possess it.
because he did not. He's very obviously not in control of it when it hits his stick.
That's it.
That is it. It hits his stick.
It's like what is it? A 20th?
Are
of
we
a second,
calling
10th
hitting
of a
the stick control? Because if you are, then sure,
it's the wrong
that
call.
is it. But nobody. It just doesn't feel like anybody out there is going to believe that. I mean,
That's not possession.
Yeah. And it's fun. I don't think it's. I think it's offside.
I think maybe the most telling thing is they pan to the Boston bench, and every single dude on that bench is like, "Damn, that's not going to count."
Yeah, Jake DeBrusk's like, they're taking one of my goals. This sucks. And then they call it good, and he's like, all right. And Bednar gives the somebody just farted near me face. The like, explain this to me, please.
Yeah,
so I guess I'm just not going to agree that it touching your stick counts as possession.
I won't agree.
I don't think it is.
All right, we got that out of our system.
Well, and it's the fucking game-winning goal. So
yeah.
And what's the difference in you're trying to come back against a pretty good Boston team. It's 2-1, it's 3-1. The Avs game considerably gets better after that moment. It's tough. This is why you don't. You need to save from Georgiev. This is why you don't put yourself in the hole. Also, that's just offside.
Yeah, it's tough. Okay, to your point there, you get to the second period of this game. The Avs played great in the second period of this game. They really, really took it to Boston. You're just down 3-1 at that point, so it's tough.
Yeah, if you want some quick numbers on it,
please do.
28-13 in 18 minutes of 5v5 time in terms of shot attempts. Actual shots on goal were 17-6, scoring chances 17-8, high danger chances 9-2. And they walk out with one goal.
Yep.
What is the easiest thing to point to and say the difference is?
The goaltending.
They got to save. They gave up 9 high danger chances in the second period, and they have scored once.
Not 3, like in the first period, right? not on 8 high danger
For the
chances.
record,
If you're
the
comparing.
Boston created 5 high danger chances in the first period and had 3 goals.
That's my point.
It's not to say all those goals were high danger chances. They were not. But
It is what it is.
just
man.
kind of keep coming back to it. I'm sorry.
Megan, you said you weren't super concerned with the result of this hockey game. Is there a lot of footage that you're taking out of like the second period of this game that you're happy with then? Is there a lot that you're going away and saying, hey, we did good things here, even if the scoreboard doesn't really reflect that?
Certainly inside the second period and even parts of the third, Boston just really locked it down in that period.
did.
Obviously, the penalty was not something I would point to as a highlight,
Just can't do that.
but everything else
Such an odd highlight.
feels really good.
Yeah.
And even in the first period, there are good things that Colorado did. It's not great. I wouldn't necessarily point to it as something that they should try to emulate in any way, but that's why I don't have tons of concern. It still resembled the Avs team in the first period, and that's why I think they were able to have the second and third that they did.
And what they're gonna say in that locker room tomorrow, because it's a 1:00 game Saturday, so they might not even skate, or they might have a light skate in Philly and have a little meeting, and because it's tough to get a meeting in on. I mean, they'll get a meeting Saturday morning, but
Yeah.
very short, just pregame stuff. I go back to Bednar saying at the start of the year, which I've heard it more than lately. You know, we want to evaluate our games on if this was the Stanley Cup playoffs. You know, so this is a playoff game tonight. They did enough good things, but they didn't do it enough for 60 minutes. And then when that happens, all teams are good in the playoffs, like the Bruins are good tonight. Then you're going to come up underneath of the other team and lose the game. And that's a fact. And then you break it down like we do too, you know, like goaltending, special teams, you know, 5-on-5, effort-wise, like, you know, jam-wise. It just wasn't good enough, you know. It wasn't good enough. Like, that's reality tonight.
So let me ask you guys this then. How do you feel about it? It's game 46 of the season. And I agree. A loss to Boston is not a big deal. It's a good team. You're not going to win every game. Whatever. Is it acceptable to say, hey, we had good portions of this game, let's take those? Or is the bottom line, we didn't win, we need to be better?
I mean, I'll answer that. Like, it's not acceptable to not be on top of your game for 60 minutes. You know what I mean? And to have a few passengers, I won't name names, but there's a few passengers and no impact to the game. And when you're playing good teams and you're not getting the goaltending that is superb, you're going to get some losses. And that's, for me, that's what happened tonight.
Even looking at how thin the Avs lineup is, I think in hearing Cogliano talk about how their mindset is winning, I don't think they'll find it acceptable. I don't think they will grant themselves many allowances, even though they're short some bodies. And I think that's the appropriate response. I think that's why they have a Stanley Cup ring from 2022.
Well, we see what happens when you respond the other way, as Mitch Marner has been dragged through the mud for 3 days straight now, when he said they're playing pretty well after losing 4 in a row. So
I still can't believe you said that. It's just such a crazy thing to say.
I don't know what to tell you, man. I would not expect the Avs to say something like that.
Not.
Imagine if 4 days in a row I drove my car into the side of a building and was like, I'm a pretty good driver. I don't know what the problem is. What?
Hey, that building jumped out into the road, man.
Just keeps coming at me, man. I don't get it.
Okay. So, yes. And I'm not saying you can't take any positives out of it.
Oh, no. You
Not
can
saying
always
that
take
at all.
positives.
There were multiple shifts from your top line that were, if they had the finish, we'd be going, oh my God, what play, unbelievable. But
Yeah.
puck didn't go in.
You are really comfortable with your first line, this version of your third line, and portions of your defense in this game. There were...
You needed more from Makar, I think.
Yeah,
It's just fair.
I thought Makar defensively I really didn't like. I didn't like Malinsky. I didn't like Jack Johnson. And Josh Manson makes a brutal brutal decision
Yeah.
to high stick a guy in front of a net with 4.5 to play.
Yeah, he definitely made a decision there.
And
for sure.
you see the direct result of it is Jack Johnson is on the ice for the PK.
And
Avs,
the game's
it's
over.
the end of the PK because the Avs are trying to get Taves and Makar ready for the final 2.5 minutes with the empty net situation. They're going to play the entire time, whatever. They just need to get through a minute. And they don't
did
get
not.
through that minute. Yeah, Jack Johnson doesn't even look at David Pasternak. Doesn't even look at him.
Yep.
So,
He didn't know he was there.
and your PK gives up another goal.
And you end up losing the special teams battle because of that, ultimately.
And not something I'm going to dwell on too much, but the top power play unit has struggled
Bad.
now in 2 games
Yeah.
where they really needed help.
They did. You needed a power play goal in this game from Colorado. You really did.
Well, and if you're trying to outscore your problems every night, your special teams can't go dry,
Yep.
especially on both ends of it. Oh, you're giving up a PK goal and your power play's not scoring. You're gonna lose.
Yep.
You're gonna lose. And this is a 3-2 game in a game that should have really been 2-2 with 4.5 minutes to play.
Yep.
You didn't get run out of this building. You weren't dominated, and that's with a pretty depleted lineup against a pretty complete Bruins lineup.
And
There
then-
are still a lot of positives here. There's a lot of things that you should feel good about. They're 2-2 on the road trip. This isn't an abject disaster. Even if they lose in Philly, you're disappointed, but it's not a fiasco.
Bad, but not terrible.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You go into Philly, you win. It's 3-2. You come home. You've got 2 more games for the All-Star break. You should feel good going back home. You have 3 days off after Saturday.
Honestly, I do think it is fair that you played your B- at best game tonight if you're the Avalanche,
It's pretty B-, yeah.
Yeah.
and you went punch for punch with a Boston team that obviously you ultimately lose. But if you get one more save, if you are able to get one power play goal, you probably get a point out of this game.
There you go.
You get one challenge that goes your way when it should have.
If you get a linesman that is correct, I don't. It's tough. It's tough for me to really be that upset with this hockey game on the whole.
Yeah. I mean, when a schedule comes out, you look at, oh, hey, we have to go into Boston. Boston is the second best home team behind Colorado.
Yep.
It's a 1-goal hockey game with 4.5 minutes to play. Like, this is not an embarrassing loss. This is not anything that you're like, oh my God, what is that?
Right.
It's part of what makes the way that they lost in Montreal worse.
Yep.
Because if you had even if you'd lost that game, but in overtime, you're still like,
Got a point.
We're still trending in the right direction.
Yeah.
We're gonna have we could have 1 regulation loss on this road trip. Now you're 2-2. You got to win in Philly. Got to win in Philly.
Eric, you were talking about playing at the Old Garden.
Yes.
Love the building.
Loved it.
I gotta ask though, was it a little leaky?
Yes. At times, they should have got some better roofing companies there. That was a good layup.
Hey, let's go. Red Hawk Roofing. Don't think they work in Boston, but they work here in Colorado.
That's right.
Go check them out at redhawkroofing.com. They'll get your roof all fixed up no matter what's going on with it. Even if you think your roof is fine, they'll give you a free inspection. They'll come out, they'll take pictures of your roof, they'll show you maybe everything will be good up there. But if there's problems, they'll let you know. They also do emergency calls, so they're available 24/7. If something unfortunate happens and you spring a leak in the middle of the night, they can come out there and get it patched up for you. So go hit them up. Go to redhawkroofing.com. Local company just like us here at DNVR. Go let them know we sent you over there and make sure your roof is all good. Also brought to you by the folks over at Snarfs. When you want to get out of your house, because roofing is very loud. Almost my entire neighborhood got re-roofed this year because we had a big hailstorm out east. My dog is not a fan of roofing.
Rex.
It's very loud. But if you want to get away from that, Snarfs is the place to go pick up some lunch or dinner. A bunch of different locations here in Colorado. They've been around local forever. They started over at DU. Their sandwiches are ridiculously good. We all love them. Whether you're a simple man like AJ getting the ham and cheese, or you want something more complicated, a little bit of a fancy Philly cheesesteak or the roast beef provolone, I think is what I usually get.
I got the chicken cordon bleu one time.
There you go. That's fancy.
It was really good, by the way.
can't miss.
Cordon bleu.
Cordon bleu.
I got the chicken cordon bleu one time. It was
Cordon
really
bleu.
good, man.
Don't-
It was really good.
Cordon bleu.
Go
What?
get yourself a snarf
Can't
sandwich,
French.
no matter what language you speak. Go check them out and get their customer appreciation app as well for free sandwiches. Those are the best kind of sandwiches. Third period of the DNVR Avalanche podcast. If there was something to aspire to, you guys already started to mention it. Boston played great with a 1-goal lead in this game. If there's one thing I feel like the Avs haven't done well enough at times this year, it's playing with a 1-goal lead. There's a lot of great comebacks, a lot of getting games to tied and ultimately winning, a lot of the Avs running the score up. 1-goal leads have been a bit sketchy at times, thinking of the Seattle game, thinking of the Nashville game. Obviously, those are extremes of the situation. But is that something that the Avs need to find? Or do you think that when healthy, when the Avs are playing well, that they're good enough to be
Well,
considered a truly top team in the NHL?
I'll give it a quick answer on that. Like the Bruins, for example, like I'll be sarcastic here, but what they have last year, like 150 wins, like something stupid. Like, so they got a lot of experience at it, right? And they got a core group that has done it and they've been through it. So yeah, I mean, you know, there's a reason why they win so many hockey games the last 2 years. So they know how to lock it down. The Avs haven't had to do a lot of that lately because they're always coming back from a 3-goal deficit. So it's a little different game of hockey. But yeah, it was nice to watch tonight. And you see why the Boston Bruins are the top of, you know, near the top of the league in standings because they do what they do, which is protect leads.
14 and a half minutes of 5v5 time in the third period. The Avs generated 2 shots on goal,
Not great.
2 scoring chances, 1 high danger chance. That's a masterclass from Boston.
Yeah.
Locked it down.
And I would also just say that I think when you're talking about protecting leads, it might be the area in which you are most glaringly going to miss Nichushkin and MacKinnon.
Defensive.
2 of your
forwards,
best
yeah.
defensive forwards that can also generate offense a little bit. Force the team, you know, to forecheck hard, to make life in the neutral zone hard. And not having those guys.
Big difference.
Trying to protect a lead. Right now, it's pretty obvious that Jared Bednar is throwing out Andrew Cogliano, Ryan Johansson, and Yoel Kiviranta because he has to.
No one else is out there.
Yeah,
you don't have
because
a
he's
choice.
like, am I going to put McDermott and Olofsson and Poland out there
Maybe you should.
when I'm either chasing a game, protecting a game, or in a tied game? Am I putting that fourth line out there
Swap McDermott and Cogs, and I might.
in the third period? I'm not doing it for more than a shift, personally. Like, I'm just not interested. So, not having that trusted second line that you really believe and are comfortable with, it really hurts them.
Yeah.
And
agree.
that's one reason why Nathan McKinnon's line is playing,
1 billion minutes?
constantly.
Gazillion.
It's trusted. Offense, defense, it just doesn't matter. They play, as Eric loves to say, they play with the puck the whole game. They get the puck, they go zoom around, and they have it more often than not. So, you know, you get those guys back at some point. You get a real second line center, and your board stacks up in a way that you're like, oh, okay, now we feel comfortable going line for line against a Vegas in a postseason series.
Boston or, you know, whatever.
And right now they don't have that. So more than chasing the game, because you can let McKinnon go chase a game all game long. Just go score for us, dude. Take every chance in the book. Go do some crazy shit. Put pucks in the net. You do it every night.
And a fair amount of the time, he'll make it work.
Exactly. Between the power play and 5v5 time, got it in the bag. But when it comes to protecting a lead, you are really missing some of those more defensively responsible two-way guys. And so I do think it is harder for them.
I think it's important in looking at playoffs. I think past game 41, that's where their mindset has to shift. I mean, truthfully, you'd probably expect it to be there from game 1, and I don't doubt that about this Avalanche group. But now more than anything, getting experience with different ways to win beyond just coming back is important for them because they're going to be faced with all situations in the playoffs, and they're going to have to protect leads. And so I want to see them develop an aptitude to doing this, even if the lineup's a little bit thin, because that can happen in the playoffs. It did last year and the year before. And so they can anticipate. That's a guarantee. And that's why I want to see them have an aptitude for doing it. I won't panic that they didn't do it specifically tonight, but this back half of the season, I think that does need to be a goal.
And just to drive this point home, you know what the easiest way to defend a 1-goal lead is?
Have a 2-goal lead?
Make a save.
All right.
I didn't want to say it.
That's mostly all I wanted to cover here. So let's get to the super chats, and then we'll get to your guys' final thoughts, if you have any. $2 from Jim. Seeing the Bruins fans at work in AM will be tragic. Yeah, it's gonna be tough, bud. It's gonna be
Seems
tough
like that would
for
be
you.
tough
Jim.
every day, honestly.
Yeah. I'd not envy of that for sure. $5 from Melanie, who says at least Dallas lost 2. On to the next. Yeah, didn't every team in the West, in the East-West matchups, didn't every Western team lose? I think.
What did I say earlier? They got outshot 45-19
Was that what it was?
by the end of it.
It was
Dallas did by
15 to 1 in
Philadelphia.
the first. It was all I knew. Yeah.
Well, it was something crazy.
Wow.
So the fact that they got absolutely run tonight is kind of
You
funny.
can feel like the Avs were at least competitive. You got that going for you. And then an incredibly generous super chat from Robin, giving us $50, who just says, appreciate your hockey analysis. Thank you. Cheers. Go Avs. Thank you very much, Robin. That's crazy
Thanks,
amount
Robin.
of money.
All those West teams, by the way, were on the road.
Home ice advantage.
Yeah. I
you
just
look
thought
at
that
that?
was all the Western teams are losing, but at least they're
Not at home.
at least they're all on the road. Where you're like, meh, okay, whatever.
That's hockey, baby. All right. Final thoughts, final takeaways from tonight?
Except Vegas, of course.
Well, I didn't like one thing earlier, and I have to say it because I believe in the code out there, and I didn't like AJ throwing a glove at you. So I'm just saying. Oh God, I'm defending you. Here you go,
It was a
AJ.
bad take, so
I got
had
it back.
to-
AJ.
Anytime a teammate hits another teammate, you know you have problem
Yeah.
inside
Yeah.
the locker room.
Yeah, but we're not going to spiral, all right? We're going to have a team meeting
That's
after
the key.
this.
That's
Yeah.
the key.
I'm not having a team meeting. I'm going home.
You look like you're ready to just make a save.
Glove and
High
foot.
It's
glove?
up here. Yeah, it's up here.
All right, we good? All right, before we do get out of here, though, we are brought to you by the wonderful folks down at, FOCO. All right, cool. Go get yourself some delicious, not delicious, some amazing looking. I don't know, actually, do you think bobbleheads are edible?
No,
No?
no.
Only once.
Well, Crocs are edible, so,
Crocs
know.
are?
Yeah.
Why do you know this?
They're
You know,
Crocs aren't delicious, to be fair. They're just edible.
I think it's something like they were made to be biodegradable. And you
Yeah.
can boil them and eat them. I don't.
You guys don't want to know the story on that.
Yeah.
I'll tell you the
All right,
story.
maybe
later.
don't go to FOCO for food, but go there for your sports merch. 10% off with code DNVR10. They got bobbleheads, they got Crocs, they got licensed apparel. Go check it out. Go get your cool stuff. And I'll leave you with this. A DraftKings pick of the week. Cale Makar is going to score a goal against Philadelphia. That's my pick of the week because he's going to take the number 1 spot on the Avs defensive goal scoring list. This weekend, it's happening. That's my pick of the week. That's the end of our show. We appreciate all y'all hanging out with us. We are off tomorrow because we're back Saturday doing the game, full 9, pregame, watch along, postgame. AJ can't wait to go home and sleep.
I'm so excited. I have no plans.
That's
I don't even have
the
I don't even have a day planned. I'm just excited to just be like, I'm not putting. It's a no pants
That's
day, my man. It's a no
No
pants,
pants
day.
day for AJ.
I'm still going to the movies. Sorry, everybody at
Whoa.
the movies.
Yeah.
You
the
might,
pants on.
yeah.
Sorry, everybody at the movies.
We appreciate y'all. Have your own no pants day to forget this Avs game. We'll talk to you on the next one.
We all silly like the mayor.